Welcome to Hearts of Gold. Today we have Poppy with us. Hi, Poppy.
Hi.
Can you tell us about your Girl Scout Gold Award project?
Yeah, so for my project, I created vaccine distraction kits for children who were receiving vaccines, which I distributed to a number of COVID-19 vaccine clinics and mass vaccination sites. And in these kits, I included a variety of fidget toys and little distractions that kids could use to take their attention away from the fear of getting a shot. Um, and I also included informational brochures that were easy to understand for children and parents, which outlined the importance of vaccines and how they prevent sickness. I was able to distribute about 300 total kits over the course of my project so far to a number of vaccination sites and smaller vaccine clinics. And I met a lot of amazing people who worked at the clinics and were just as passionate about COVID-19 safety as I am. I was also able to see one of my kits put to use when a kid who was about to receive a vaccine got a little scared and he ran away from the nurse administering the vaccine. So another staff worker had to go grab one of my kits and help calm him down and distract him from the fear he had toward the shot. And so that was a really gratifying experience because it gave me confidence that my kits were actually being put to use and I was able to make a difference in my community.
What inspired you to pick this as your project?
So my original plan was to make distraction kits for the same types of vaccines, although they would be distributed to pediatric centers instead of COVID-19 vaccine clinics, because I came up with my idea in my freshman year before the pandemic had started. And then once the pandemic hit, we had to put my project on hold for a while because um, we couldn't leave our house for quarantine. So we had to kind of pivot the direction of my project. And then once I started thinking about the COVID-19 vaccine, I realized that changing my focus from general vaccines in pediatric centers to vaccines specifically for COVID-19 would be more relevant and probably be more meaningful in my community.
What is the sustainability portion of your project?
The sustainability portion is the informational brochure, which is available to print out. So I send files to anyone who is interested in having them and distributing them anywhere else. And these brochures have been placed in the Howard County Health Department, which I was able to tour at a point in my project. I was able to tour the Howard County Health Department, and I was able to see where vaccines were stored and how clinics were run and set up, which was really interesting. So I think distributing my informational brochures to a number of different places aside from just the clinics is definitely the most sustainable part.
Who was on your team and what leadership skills did you build?
My team is consisted of myself, my mom, and my aunt who works at Johns Hopkins. And my mom was definitely the biggest help on my team because she was able to take me to all these different vaccine clinics because at the time, for most of my project, I didn't have my license. She was able to drive me around and basically be my personal chauffeur. She also helped me create my kits and kept encouraging me throughout the course of my project. And the leadership skills that I learned were, I learned a lot of communication skills because since my team isn't very big, most of the communications came down to me, especially when introducing my project to the heads of the vaccine clinics, because we would usually have to show up the same day to kind of introduce my project to them because there wasn't much of a way to contact them from the information that we were given on websites. So a lot of the communication had to come down to me, which was a little bit nerve-wracking because public speaking has not always been my strong suit, but it is definitely something that I was able to work on and improve throughout this project.
Do you have a favorite memory from your project?
My favorite memory is probably when my kit was put to use. I was able to see someone actually need my kit, and it really made a difference because if this specific child didn't have something to fidget with or take his attention away from the vaccine, maybe he would have had a phone, but my kit was really influential and it shortened the amount of time that needed to be taken specifically for that child to calm down and focus back on what was really important, which was getting the vaccine and getting safe from uh, this virus.
What did you learn about the Gold Award process during your journey that would be helpful to other girls considering earning their gold?
I think the most important thing that I learned was it's definitely crucial that you start your project early. I started my project in ninth grade and I am now a junior in high school. So it has taken me over 2 years so far. And a lot of that does have to do with the pandemic kind of putting a rift in the middle of the project. But starting early is absolutely important because you want to make sure that you're going to work on something that you're passionate about and that you are willing to work on for up to 4 years because you have until your senior year. And as we can see through my project, there will be obstacles that you're going to need to overcome, and giving yourself the most amount of time as possible is the best way to prepare for that.
What other Girl Scout experiences have you had?
I think the most memorable Girl Scout experience is my time in the summers that I spent at Camp Elchester, which is a local Girl Scout camp near my in my community. And in that camp, we learned a lot of leadership skills. We got to be essentially counselors from the time you're an eighth grader. You get to kind of be a leader at the different stations at the camp for a week or two. And I got to teach archery at that camp, which was, it's something that I'm not usually accustomed to because I'm not generally the person who's teaching others. Again, because of that public speaking thing that I've been working to overcome. But that Girl Scout camp really helped me kind of break out of my shell and become more of a leader.
What are you looking at for your future plans?
My future plans, I'm currently looking at colleges. I've been in the college search for a while, and I'm torn between studying something to do with medicine or public health or something to do with marine biology. And I've done projects in school and elsewhere regarding marine biology and climate change. So I thought that the Girl Scout Gold Award would be a perfect opportunity to research and show interest in my other possible fields of study in college. So, and it really is something that I'm passionate about. So it helped me kind of try to narrow down what I would really like to study in college, although I haven't completely decided yet.
You are also a field hockey player. Can you tell us about field hockey?
Yeah, so again, with the college search, I'm currently in the recruiting process for field hockey, which includes going to various showcases. I actually have a showcase this coming weekend in Florida. So I'm going to be playing some games and some college coaches will watch me. I email them beforehand and we kind of have a fun little back and forth. And I also go to visit specific schools which have field hockey recruiting clinics. So those are always a very fun experience. And I haven't narrowed down exactly my top college yet or where I'm going to commit, but I still have time, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that process all the way through.
Is there anything else you'd like to share with the audience?
I'd say for Girl Scouts who are working on their project or who haven't decided whether to do a Girl Scout project, I would definitely say to do it. It can seem like a big undertaking, but it's worth it in the end. If you do something that you're really passionate about, or if you do something that you may have an interest in, you could discover that you're really passionate about it, and you're going to learn a lot. It's a journey of self-discovery, and it's going to be something that you're going to remember for a long time. Even if it seems like it will be a lot of work, don't be scared, because you can do it.
How do you make your s'mores?
I don't like when there's too much graham cracker around the end, so I like to break it up into a lot of smaller pieces. So I'll have each s'more has to have one chocolate and one marshmallow, and then it's kind of just the perfect square.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Make sure to click follow or subscribe so you always know when new episodes are released. And don't forget to power your passion and conquer your challenges.